looks good. It's all good. Hey guys, I hope you're having a good day. Mine's a little iffy. This is my second time doing this video. The first time around, I got all done, 20 minutes of it, and I was all pleased with myself. And the microphone, it apparently, my computer thought it was a headphone, so it didn't record any sound. So no more microphones. Oh my God. Okay, so if you are new here, I'm not so much a tutorial person on how to do things. I'm more of a how not to, or what you should be wary of. When you go to do a project and it calls for, say, glue, and you're like, well, I don't have that specific kind of glue, so I'm going to use this glue over here. All glue is not the same. Okay, some glue is more gluey-er than others, and others use the term glue very loosely because it doesn't stick to nothing. It's just, it doesn't do anything. Nothing sticks to anything. So yes, there are some things you should not do. Or if you want a temporary glue and you use a more permanent glue, but you don't know that it's more permanent, yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm here to warn you about, because that's just me. I will mess up. I've messed up a lot today. We're not going to go through the list, but my video was number one. Something else that I have done that I recently figured out on my own. I love learning the hard way. It's so much fun. When I do these videos, so the first couple of videos that I did, I had them marked as that they were for children. They're not made for kids, but they're not made for kids, if that makes sense. I pretty much get two options. Yes, it's made for kids. No, it's not. And then it asks for an age restriction. I did recently find that I can say, no, it's not made for kids, but there is no age restriction. So I do my best to keep this family friendly. I don't care how young you are or how old you are. Crafting, art, and it doesn't matter what kind of art. If it's painting art, if it's performing art, if it's music, there is, I feel, no limit. There's no age limit on it. So I hope that you are sitting here watching some of these videos with your kids, with your grandkids, with your nieces and nephews, just whoever, and enjoy a craft together, and you both learn together, because the younger generation will learn how to do things from us, the older generation, but sometimes the younger generation, they might question something, and some of us are kind of set in our ways, and we're like, no, you don't do that. Well, why not? And then you start rethinking things, and if you look at it from their viewpoint, you know, I'm the kind of person, if I can't do something a specific way, if you're telling me, no, you can't do that, why? Tell me why, because if you don't, I'm going to go find out on my own. And there could be bad consequences coming of that, you know, whether things are glued to things that shouldn't be, or, you know, chemical reaction or something that was not anticipated, and now we all have to evacuate. You know, you just never know, and especially if I'm involved. Whew, okay. All right, so today I'm not doing a craft, but I wanted to talk to a lot of you. So I'm wanting to start my own business, and it would be called the Flamingo Incognito. But what I want is a year-round cosplay movie memorabilia type of a store. I want a physical store, but right now it's a little out of my price range. So what I do is I make some things, and I would not make the entire costumes. I don't mind making bits and pieces, and then you do your magic to it, which would be adding whatever to it, dyeing it, doing fabric paints, whatever it is, airbrushing, anything that I make, and if you've bought from me, please, by all means, add to it, you know. But losing my train of thought. Sorry, give me a second. So what I do is I set up at marketplaces. I'm here in Florida. I do have to deal with a lot of either the extreme heat of spring or the potential rain all year round and the cold of fall, winter. We don't really get cold until late December. January is cold. And you have to remember, Florida is humid. It's muggy. And then you add the cold air and a breeze in there, and whoo, it's horrible. So you're melting in the summer. You're either melting or you're freezing. There very rarely is a good in between, although the last couple of days have been nice. It's overcast, and I am constantly ready for a nap. I'm exhausted, and for no reason. It's the weather. So when I do go to these events and stuff, I've run into several of you who have talked about either getting your first sewing machine and now you're gonna go on the adventure of learning to sew, or you're getting back into it for whatever reason. You walked away from it and now it's like, you know, I might come back. I'm going to do this. This was kind of fun and I don't know why I quit, kind of thing. I get that. I do that with a lot of things. There are things you kind of get burnt out. And I'm hoping with this channel that I can also help you come up with other ideas for costumes, because I think a lot of us get burnt out. I did that with cross stitch. I always did cross stitch from the age of 12 to current. And I do have where I went years. I've had gaps where I didn't want to do the kits. I didn't know how to make my own. Came across a pattern making program years ago. It was early 2000, and it was great. I could scan a picture and it would, you know, basically pixelate it, and I could stitch it. It would give me the threads and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I fell back in love with cross stitching again. I am back there, but not like I mean, that was it. I cross stitched or nothing. Okay. Now I sew, and I started sewing. Again, my mother, being around her all my life, she always sewed. But it wasn't until about 2010 that I really started getting into sewing, and it just, things started clicking. Okay. Does that mean it goes right all the time? No, it does not. But those of you, whether you're starting sewing, painting, writing, playing an instrument, dance, whatever it is that you have currently decided, hey, I want to try this. These words are for you. Okay, now some of this is specifically for sewing. Okay, do I teach sewing? No. I have people say, oh my gosh, but you're so good. Yeah, but I'm not really a good teacher. I worked retail for many years, and as a cashier, training somebody else to cashier, I'm quick. I know what I'm doing. I know I've worked in several file rooms, so I ended up teaching myself 10 key. So the little keypad, I can type on that and not look. I can look at the numbers that I'm doing, and I can type, and I get my line of moving. But trying to teach somebody else, I'm like, oh, you're doing it. Oh no, ooh. And so I got to a point where I had to tell people, hey, you need to tell me move and let me do this, and then I will stand back and do my best to let you do it. It's very hard. My daughter would say it's a control issue. I know what I'm doing. I can feel the apprehension from the customer there that they just want to get their item and go. And so there are times, okay, I did work at Hobby Lobby for a short time. That is not a place. If you are a crafter, no. Just no. Because one, you're never going to have a paycheck because you're always spending it there. And two, I was so fascinated with things that would come through. I'm like, ooh, where'd you find this? Ooh, where'd you get that from? What are you using this for? So yeah, there were times, and some people would ask me questions, and I'd give them suggestions. I had one person about sewing on like pleather. Not that I've ever done that myself before, but I will tell you, if you're going to sew on pleather or something like that, lengthen your stitches. Otherwise, when you put it together and you go to put it on, it's going to tear apart, just like the pages out of your spiral notebook. So you need to lengthen your stitches. I don't know how long they need to be. I don't know what's a good length or anything. So that's something you need to look into. But that much I do know because my mother told me, and I was able to pass that info on to this other gentleman. And then I had a lady who was wanting to, she was trying to hem. She wanted to hem something, but she didn't want a permanent hem. So I gave her an idea. There are iron-on and there are no-sew. If you get no-sew, do not sew it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Velcro. I don't care if it's hemming, whatever it is. Do not stitch it. And I will tell you this, because if you decide you're going to go ahead and you're going to go stitch a no-stitch item, you're going to need rubbing alcohol to get the goo off of your sewing needle. Okay, and I know that from experience because I insisted. It's like, it says no sew, but you know what? I'm going to reinforce it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to ruin your needle, whether you hand do it or use your machine. And if you need to get the goo off, yeah, you're going to need rubbing alcohol. That will take it right off. So, anyway, see, I've already gotten off subject. Okay, so when you're sewing, please use the proper needle for the proper materials. Okay, if I was one of those, I just used universal. That's fine. It stitches through everything. It wasn't until I started doing something specific that I realized, I understand what the lightweight needle is. So there's a universal needle, which is pretty much good for, I don't know, like the stuff I do. I sew mostly with cotton, so that's what I use. I use the universal needle. If I'm doing something that's heavier, thicker, denim, upholstery type material, or it's heavier types of canvas and stuff, I use the denim needle. It's for your jeans, so it can punch through some of those layers. But do not use either of those two, universal or denim, on lightweight. When you sew lightweight, use a lightweight because I believe it's sharper, it's skinnier. So some of the problems you will run into is this one. It's almost like a metallic, not even metallic, but you know, it's this, okay? I don't even know what it's called. So this right here, you can see all the little puckerings. It really shouldn't have that. And that's because I used a universal needle. And also you can see there's a couple of spots like right here. There's a line. It's kind of hard to see all the reflection. But anyways, there's a line that goes down here. I can feel it. And that is where the needle grabbed and yanked on some of the thread in the material and pulled it. And it can be a mess. So I'm a huge Weird Al fan, okay? I've been to a couple of his concerts. If you've never been, you should really go. I mean, there's people age 5 to 90, okay? It is the craziest group of people. And he has the one song, Foil, and it's aluminum foil is what he's singing about. And first it starts off, he's singing about how to keep your food fresh, but I don't want to ruin the end for you if you haven't seen the video yet, or if you don't know the song. But it's a parody of Royal. I love both songs, but I had thought, you know, instead of just the foil hats, how cool would it be if I had like a foil suit? Tin foil is not going to work. It's going to tear. So this was the next best thing. And this was about as far as I got. I have not, as you can see, I did not. It's a vest. I want to do the jacket. I'm glad I started with the vest because it has been enough of a headache. Also, with your materials, so if you make something, say you're going to do like a royal blue, black, red, whatever, and you're going to have it with a lighter color, even if it's gray, you want to wash the material first, just so that when you do wash it, it doesn't bleed. I had people telling me, oh, it's cotton, so it won't bleed. Don't believe everything you hear. Look it up yourself. So if you don't understand what fabric bleeding is, where did I put it? Fabric bleeding is when you have a dark material like this and light color down here, and you did not wash this material, and then when you do, even if it's cold water, it will turn everything else a lighter shade of this color. So looking at my camera, it really doesn't look like you can tell. It looks like, oh, it looks okay. No, these were white. This still looks white. It's so weird how it doesn't really show up on there. I see it. I don't like it. This was something I made to sell. And my mind kept going through it, kept nagging at me about how, I don't think you washed this material. You should probably run this through a wash before you sell it to somebody, and then they wash it, and now they're angry because this happened. And so that's what happened. I even washed it in cold water. I wash everything in cold water. When I put it in the dryer, I'll do delicate usually. So when I wash, if you're just going to wash your fabric, I don't put scent beads in there because I personally, I gag when I go down the laundry detergent aisle. I prefer to come in like on the edge, grab what I want and leave. But all the scents just, oh, they overpower me. My eyes start burning. I'll get a headache. I start sneezing. It's a whole fiasco. So I don't want to put all that smell into an item that I'm selling. So I will use just regular detergent, and even when I throw it in the dryer, I do not put fabric softener in there of any kind. I just put it on a delicate, and most of the time I'll hang it up somewhere, usually in my shower. I hang it up in there and let it air dry, and then when you take the iron to it, you know, it'll dry it the rest of the way. But that's me. So there are some of the materials you may, if they're darker, wash them first. When you're dealing with linen, be careful. I had a pink shirt that I made out of linen many years ago. I love the shirt. Oh, it's so pretty. And I had silver dragonfly buttons for it. I still have it, but I made it. It fit perfect. And then I threw it in the wash, and it shrunk. Probably in the dryer when the heat got to it. Because I think at that time I didn't pay much attention to the dryer settings. I just throw it in there and go about my business. And then when I put it on, I couldn't button it. Now, since then, I have lost quite a bit of weight, and I was able to actually button it. But the armpits, oh, it's so tight on the armpits, and it's one of those, I'll wear it for short bits, but like an all-day thing, no, I'm taking it off. I usually wear it as an overshirt, so something like this, and then I would just put that over it. I don't necessarily button it all the time, but yeah, you need to be careful with that. And if you're doing anything, if you decide to go the route of polyester blends or poly blend, be careful. Those will shrink as soon as you put your iron on it. It will, so those I tend to wash. I try not to buy those materials, but if you're buying stuff like from the thrift store, everything, it kind of feels the same until you get the iron to it. And once you get it home and get it around, if you feel cotton and you feel the poly blend, you'll feel the difference. So I do have a box of stuff Before I didn't know. I didn't know I was buying. I'm like, material is material, who cares? No, it's not. There are differences. Even with broadcloth is a little bit different. I'm still trying to figure out, other than the name, what the difference is. But you can feel it. There's a feel to it. So, but no matter what it is, what hobby, what craft, what art form you have decided to start doing for whatever reason, Don't quit. Don't quit right away. Enjoy it. Play with it. There's going to be some things that you do it the first time and it comes out perfect. And then you go to do it a second time and you're trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? Something's wrong. I don't know what it is. You're going to get stuff stuck in your sewing machine. Don't yank it out of the machine. You can cause some expensive damage to it. Just leave it, walk away, come back an hour later. That's what I had to do with my video. I was so mad I was not going to do this until tomorrow. And I had a chat with myself. I had to scold myself. And we came back in here, and here we are. It's like, it's still fresh in your mind, but I don't remember everything I said. It's okay. It's all right. We got the gist of it, and I'll do other videos too, talking about I have some ideas I want to share with you of costumes that I've seen other people do, but how could we do it differently? How could we do where we get the same thing, but it's not as heavy, or it's not as encumbersome, or whatever. I want to say that's the biggest thing when it comes to doing your costume. And you're going to hear this from me a lot throughout other videos when we're doing costumes. You need to think about the area that you live in. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be windy? Is it going to snow? And now you need to build stuff around a snowsuit so that people know what you are. How are you getting there? Can you wear your costume there? Are you going to have to put it on once you get there? If you have a huge headpiece or something, you're probably not going to be able to wear that while you're driving, or possibly even if like you take public transportation or even Uber, you're probably not going to be able to get in somebody's vehicle, you know, unless you know somebody, hey, you got a pickup truck so I can ride in the back till we get to where we're going. And the biggest thing that I feel when it comes to doing your costumes, how are you going to be able to go to the bathroom? Are you going to need help? Or are you to the point where it's like, okay, well, the way this thing's built, the way it's constructed and put on me, no bathroom tonight, you know? So keep that in mind. Okay, those are some of the key points to keep in mind when you are working on a costume. I am here in Florida. October, it's spotty. It can be hot. It can be cold, chilly. I'm not even going to say cold. It's chilly. But Halloween, I sweat to death on Halloween. And the last 2 years, the stuff that I wore, I was just like, I thought this would be lighter for around here, and apparently it's not. And I'm going to tell you something. Sheer does not breathe at all. Just because you can see through it doesn't mean the wind can go through it. Okay, those are some of the hotter things that I have worn here in Florida. If you can do linen, do linen. Okay, linen or muslin. Those are really good to do. So anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful December. I don't know, whatever you're celebrating, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, whoever you're spending it with, family, friends, just enjoy, okay? And come January, I'll get back into, I gotta get into a groove, so, but yeah. Enjoy your new crafts and don't give up right away. Stop beating yourself up, because I know how us perfectionists are. We get mad when we can't do it, when we can't figure it out. Let it sit there. Let it sit, let it marinate, and you'll figure it out. You will. It may not be the exact way, but you will figure something out, okay? So, happy crafting. I'll see you next time.